Pivot, the word thrown around in business classes and in the startup world of Silicon Valley, is how to describe Ubisoft's move with their new title, Assassin's Creed Origins. After Ubisoft announced they would be taking an extra year to develop Assassin's Creed, I was skeptical but held on to a sliver of hope. Having not played Assassin's Creed since the third installment, set in the American Revolution, due to the repetitive nature of each game, I am ecstatic how much this game has given me hope for the future of Assassin's Creed. My name is Max Meyer and welcome to GridlifeDigest.com's review of Assassin's Creed Origins. Disclaimer, Ubisoft graciously sent us 2 copies of the game for review purposes. Ubisoft's change in vision has brought upon the best gameplay ever experienced in an Assassin's Creed. The core gameplay has been rebuilt from the ground up as a result of pivoting into an RPG with a skill tree to level up through ability points. As players gain levels, they can choose what skills to increase to suit their style of play. The open world series, which historically has relied on counterattacks and button mashing, is now focused on tactical combat mechanics. Each NPC has its own attack style that the player must adjust to and strategize how to defeat the opponents. Will you dodge and counterplay the attack, soak up damage with your shield, or run away and finesse each NPC? The choice is up to you, and that's the beauty of it. Additionally, the game provides a plethora of weapons to choose from to suit each player's ideal way of fighting. Weapons range from one-handed swords to two-handed heavy clubs with different speeds, damage, and special attacks. The addition of a bow and arrow provides an added element needed to freshen up the series. It is extremely fun to surprise enemy camps by picking them off with headshots, which can be an alternative to using the iconic hidden blade that once again reappears in this game. Enemy AI are smarter and stronger than in any entry of the series beforehand. Quests have recommended levels, and let me tell you, they are no joke. You can try to outsmart an enemy that is a few levels above you, but it will not end well. I have had a few instances where the enemy was too strong and realized I would have to level up before completing the quest. This makes the tone of the game more appealing to hardcore audiences, and while the game is challenging, it is much more rewarding. There's a sense of accomplishment after you finish a quest battling tough opponents, which keeps the game from being dull and repetitive. Making your way through enemy hordes while sneaking around in typical Assassin's Creed fashion is much more difficult in this game. Enemy AI will notice movements frequently and will investigate an area where one of their friends goes missing if they notice a body lying on the ground. The core gameplay has fundamentally changed players' options on how they want to play, but the narrative is a classic Assassin's Creed affair. The setting takes place in 49 BCE during Cleopatra's rise to the throne in Egypt. You play as Bayek, a well-respected man from the city of Siwa and the last of the Magi, who is pursuing to solve mysteries and find the people responsible for the death of his son, the Order of Ancients. As the game progresses, you learn more about their rise to power and how they oppress the people of Egypt. Bayek pursues revenge in order to seek justice for his son and provide peace in Egypt through his support of Cleopatra. Throughout the game, you begin seeing the formation of the Creed, as the story also acts as an origin story for the Assassin's Brotherhood. Accompanied with fantastic gameplay, likable assassin and his motives to avenge his son and see a peaceful transition of power in Egypt is the beautiful world that Ubisoft has created. The game is gorgeous. It fully utilizes the hardware of the current gen consoles to provide a beautiful environment that is so fun to explore. I never imagined a game this open. The map is huge, the biggest from any game I've personally played. It can seem daunting at times, but regardless, there's so much to explore, whether it be Egyptian cities with beautiful architecture and pharaoh statues, finding tombs and pyramids, traveling along the banks of the Nile, and even traversing the desert itself has its charm. The sound design helps you get lost in the world and truly feel immersed, from the wind causing the sandstorms in the desert or the alligators biting crunch sound effects as they attack you on the banks of the Nile. The world feels alive and real even though you're sitting on a couch or bed. The attention to detail put into the aesthetic, feel, and sound of this Egyptian world is the best Assassin's Creed atmosphere provided across any of their titles. Controlling animals has variability as well, with the ability to use your pet bird, Senu, to scout for enemies, find resources, or just get a bird's eye view of the Egyptian landscape and cities. It is one of the many great changes that Ubisoft has implemented this time around. Ubisoft has nailed the open world sandbox feel that the Assassin's Creed franchise has always been known for. yet at the same time evolved the gameplay's core identity for the better. The game is vast, beautiful, fun, and challenging. I urge anyone who hasn't played an Assassin's Creed game in a few years to give this game the chance that it deserves. Ubisoft have pivoted, and I hope that they continue this trend of not releasing annualized games. With the extra time, care, and polish put into its development, the game is worth your time and money. The future looks bright for the Assassin's Creed franchise.